Hey guys, my name is Leon, and today we'll be discussing episode 8 of Big Brother 23. There's a lot of interesting going on in this episode, and a new target has emerged, but let's just get right into it. So, as we left off on episode 7, which I didn't get a chance to see, we see that Xavier is now the current HOH. We see that the likes of Derek X and Hannah threw the HOH because they didn't want to win it. They wanted to leave their teammate Brett because of the new team twist. They wanted to leave him vulnerable so he could be able to be the next house target, which with Xavier's new HOH, I think that's going to be definitely true going forward. Now Brent's going to be the new house target for, if not everybody, majority of the house. So with Xavier being involved in the alliance such as the cookout with Derek F, Azza himself, Tiffany, Kylan, and Hannah, who's kind of a part of the alliance but not officially in the main core. Those are some of his allies, and then he also has a final 8 deal with himself, Derek X, Tiffany, Claire, Sarah Beth, Kylan, Christian, and Alyssa. So with those options as his allies, he's very limited in his nominations of the people he can nominate, which he's only stuck with 3 options, which is Brent, Whitney, and Brittany. So and now with the house target being Brent, you can say, okay, he could put up Brent and Whitney and he'll be fine. But he also has a decent relationship with Whitney, and he's closer to Whitney than Brittany. So as you see throughout the episode, Brittany might be unfortunately another pawn for Xavier to use to get out someone like a Brett. But anyways, let's just go through the episode. There's a couple of interesting things. The wild card comp was pretty interesting. It's kind of similar to, it's a new version of, the comps that we have seen before in Big Brother. It kind of reminds me of the Big Brother 19 HOH comp where Cody won the first week's HOH where you had to run back and forth and get items and stuff like that. This is also a competition where Josh, the eventual winner of the season, got the safety apple where he could not be nominated for the first week. So small move by Josh, by the way. Anyways, so with the wildcard comp, it's the only not a team that's safe, like not Xavier's team, since his team's safe. His team cannot participate, so that means him, Christian, and Alyssa cannot be involved, and Sarah Beth cannot be involved in the competition. So that leaves Tiffany, Derek X, and Brittany, who's a potential pawn to participate in this competition. So as you see, Tiffany and Derek X decided to work together to eliminate Brittany. So the point of the competition, you had to run back and forth, and you had to get playing cards, and the numbers has to equal up to 13. If it equals to 13, then you're eliminated, and you have to basically get two of the three players to do 2 or 3 players for them to be eliminated. They have to have 13, and the last person standing wins the wildcard comp, and they have a potential for safety, or they can also give other people safety and stuff like that. So we see Tiffany end up winning the comp. I think it's good for Tiffany to win the comp, even though she chooses not to have safety. But she doesn't really need safety since Xavier is involved in 2 of her alliances that she's in. So, Xavier is not going to put her up at all. Anyways, that being said, now you're going to see, you know, um, Brittany get upset a little bit because Brittany felt like Derek X and Tiffany was targeting her for make sure that she doesn't win, which yeah, they were. They were. But it makes sense because they want to have Xavier to have as many options as possible. Just in case, if Brittany's safe, that means he can only put up Brent and Whitney. And if one wins veto, he has to put up somebody he's working with. And for Xavier's sake, that's not good. And for Tiffany and Derek X's sake, that's not good for them either. So definitely it's good that Tiffany and Derek X decided to work together to make sure Brittany was still an option to be nominated. There's also some fun segments. You see Derek F try to play matchmaker, trying to put Derek X and Hannah together and put Alyssa and Christian together, making showmasters come forth in the season to, I guess, make himself a lesser threat, which I think is smart. And then before the nominations happen, we do see Brittany, the fact that she's not safe in the wildcard comp, she knows that she's going to be a target to be nominated. Not someone to go home, but as a pawn. So we see Xavier telling this to Azza, and Azza not being happy because Brittany is part of Azza's team because for the team twist. Her and Derek F ain't happy about it. So Azza is like saying, "Hey, Xavier, why don't you put me up a set?" And I think that's kind of dumb for Azza to say, but at the same time, I get where Azza's coming from. Azza knows that she has a number to stay safe, but still, you never want to nominate yourself. You never want to be never want to make yourself a nominee because you never know. Sometimes a pawn does go home, and there's plenty of options, not plenty of options, plenty of examples of seeing the pawn go home. So I think if I'm Azza, don't try to make yourself a pawn. Anyways, we see Xavier end up putting Brittany and Brett on the block. And I feel bad for Brent, even though Brent tried to talk Xavier out of nominating him. Because Xavier's like, okay, Brent, you're going to be a pawn, blah, blah, blah. But Brent knows because he's a physical threat, he has a high chance of going home. So good thing for Brent to try to suss that out. But unfortunately, it didn't work. Xavier puts him on the block. And with Brent being on the block right now, Brent is a high target to being evicted. So let's see if Brent can win the veto and save himself. If not, he's toast. Anyways, that's the episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this recap. More recaps come soon, and adios.